Hello there. Welcome to the studios of Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 10, Lagos Station for Excellence. And this is the Sunday show. Where else would you rather be? I'm Chris Akwarando welcoming you, and then, Miss Beno is here. And Hassan is here.
Hello, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we thank God for the rains.
Really? Yeah, you talked about rains. It's been hot these days, and people are literally sleeping inside the fridges, and then some will go outside and expose themselves. But my problem was the way they were exposing the children, because of heat, and they have rashes on their bodies. So
all sorts this period.
Exactly.
But
thank God for the rain.
Yeah.
And then
My name is Hassan, and the program is the Sunday show.
Absolutely.
Today we have a whole lot packed for you. So please just sit down, relax while we dish out all we have for you.
Yeah, we had Mother's Day. I guess the Catholics celebrated Mother's Day,
Yeah,
and then women keep celebrating Mother's Day. But we're going to talk about that with someone today. Oh, by the way, I like your earrings. What are they? They're natural.
They are nice.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
They are made from mats.
Matt, yeah, that's true. It's kind of nice. That's quite interesting. Anyway, we'll also talk about that. Then we'll look at what women in health are doing. We'll also have, recently Nollywood has been on the cross. Everybody's talking about what's happening in Nollywood. I have someone who is very knowledgeable in Nollywood to talk about Nollywood, not just about the negative things, but then about the positive things about Nollywood, progress Nollywood is making, and then actually the essence of Nollywood itself, in entertainment, in social cohesion, in the improvement of the GDP. So we'll look at all that, and then with my guest in the studio. So, where else would you rather be than on Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 10 Lagos Station for Excellence, and also on the Sunday show? Franco Lisde would say, do you know where your children are? But we say here, do you know where your family is? So get everywhere together, and then let's enjoy the show together, all right? So don't go away, be right back. No Nyama Nyama is here.
Yeah.
He wasn't here last week, but he is here, and I'm running away.
Mr. Kido run away. I ran in here because there was so much rain, no umbrella. Still on the matter. Yes, we're back, and okay, no, me, I'm back. The job must be done. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes, because we are going to start by losing our head a little bit. Yeah, so this song is killing me, and I'm using this song today because I need to vibe. I need to activate hormones. I need to open up joints, intelligently. Now, see what will happen. I will bring in the plank. Oh! You're going to be beautiful when I'm done with this stuff. So let's get into a plank. You know what a plank is? Yes. From this plank, we're going to start creating what we call suicide plank. You can see how I brought myself up, and then we're bringing it back down. But because I said we're going to make ourselves beautiful after the end of this workout, we're going to add something to it. So from the plank, making it suicide, then we're going to do we're going to sit our apron backward to the heel of the leg. That combination is what? Is deadly. That is going to help us do what? Activate a lot of muscles. I told you we're going to activate the muscles. And now let's start. No time to wait. Let's chase 1 minute. And let's see. Now the bell round. Let's go now. Suicide plank. Straight to what? See, my banner goes back to the heel of my leg. Not up, down. I will come out of that and get back into the game again. Just like this. Emphasis on this movement. Don't allow your body to be doing all this unnecessary twisting. That is what we call yama. Keep it tight. I keep telling you, if there's wahala, we are going to solve it. We are solving it already, because if you can't do this and you can put your knee on the ground. When you're here, there's no problem. There's always progression in life. But if you can take your knee off the ground, there's no problem. We're going to solve the matter intelligently. If I'm not wrong, that was 1 minute intelligently crafted. Always try to add this to your workout routine. Stop doing exercise. Start doing things that will activate hormones for you. From here, another functional movement. We are still going to be making a lot of changes. Now, this is functional. Very simple. But it's not easy. We call it get up. Just lie down. And bring yourself up. I told you. Very simple, but no easy. Let's see how we can get this A. Let's see. How many can you get in 30 seconds? Let's see. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and start. Let's see how much you can get out of this movement. This is one. Make sure you squeeze. If you cannot come up, there is no problem. Roll. I told you we're going to be solving a lot of problems today. For holiday, summer. If you have not heard that song, by the way, go and listen to this song. This song is giving me so much vibe. Come on. How many can you get in 30 seconds? But remember, always compete against yourself. Don't compete against anybody. They don't want to release me this morning because I didn't call last week. No problem. You know what we'll do? We'll go back where we came from. Let's go back to that suicide building. Suicide building. Ta. Come on. Out of it. Gently. Don't be in a hurry. I like when they give me signal. Yes. Nothing will change if you don't decide to change. Keep watching the Sunday show. Nutrition is key.
Well, you're still watching Nigerian Television Authority Channel 10 Lagos Station for Excellence, and this is a Sunday show. Where else would you rather be? Well, the heat is going down a little bit because the rain is still pouring. So it's time to discuss what Women in Healthcare Network, in partnership with Women in Healthcare Forum, did to build bridges amongst women in health care. All right, so let's find out what happened on Friday. Then when we come back, I will talk about Mother's Day. You wait for it. Don't go away now.
And from healthcare professionals, gathered to hold a forum in partnership with the Women in Healthcare Network, WIHCN. This dynamic platform aimed on public and private sector, as well as across clinical and non-clinical specialties, to advocate, exchange insights, and as well as to showcase the diverse roles of women in healthcare sector. The opening remark was done by Dr. Modukpe Elebute Odunsi, the CEO of Marcel Ruth Cancer Center, emphasizes the importance of partnership.
In terms of the business of healthcare and understanding the landscape and what was going on, in the end, what I had to do was actually sit down with Google and find out who was leading Medical Women's Association, who was leading the National Medical Association, and so on and so forth. So I muddied my way through, and it was fantastic because a lot of them were very, very supportive and very helpful.
Also, other respected guests shared their goodwill messages.
You have results and you don't build the future into the process, it's a matter of time. So it's again, I want to pivot back to us as women. We raise our children for legacy.
Talking about my career as a translator, I think the one thing that I learned from that time was to be ready for opportunities in any way in which they come, and not to expect my opportunities to come in a particular way.
Men and children, because we believe if we take care of the woman, if we take care of the children, you have taken care of the family, and of course, by extension, the nation. And that's where Women in Healthcare Network comes in.
Now, with a 32-year career, I have defined what success means for me. So you also have to define what success means for you. And then from there, you need to go from success to significance. And to go from success to significance, you cannot do it alone. You can only do it by choosing the people around you that can make a difference. And so I'm one that believes in strategic partnership. But partnerships not to talk, but partnerships that will work. So I'm sure that this association, WIHCN, will definitely walk the talk.
The forum opened up an important panel discussion asking, deliberating innovative financing to break the gender barrier, anchored by Dr. Kemi Oguyemi.
What challenges did you come against and how did you go around it? Apart from facing the natural barriers that women face when it comes to systemic barriers of gender stereotyping and all that, we had to deal with the infrastructure limitations in terms of how technology is driven by internet and power supply. So if they don't have internet and power, how are they going to be able to use this service? So we had to innovate around those challenges.
I was looking around to all my friends because we thought it was people older that needed to get their health checked. And I realized none of us was thinking about our healthcare. We're chasing money, we're chasing career, we're chasing everything we thought was important. And that was just a wake-up call for me, and I knew that I needed to do something about it. And that was how Health Tracker started.
With equity, frankly, you're betting on an entrepreneur, you're betting on a team, you're betting on a thesis around the market, the demand, the need, etc. And you could make money or you could lose your money.
The theme for today's launch event is in line with the vision of WIHCN, which is to connect, inform and inspire women in the healthcare to become the best they can be.
The most important for women, to me, is the family. The family first, then the work second. If you have a strong focus on family, then you will put things you will have prioritized.
We need to sort of step up and take these opportunities prepared and intentional, and we will definitely have many more women in leadership. And that's why we want to do the things that will impact the healthcare of women, but generally, but of course we're going to be focusing on the healthcare for women and children.
This program is to bring leaders together for us to share experiences, what's the way forward, to network, and it's a mix of healthcare professionals and people who are not even healthcare professionals but work in the healthcare space.
Dr. Modupe Odunsin is the founder of Marcel Ruth, located at plot 1192D Olubosi Close, Victoria Island, Lagos.
Well, this is still the Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 10, Lagos station for excellence, and then of course there's the Sunday show. We hope you're enjoying what we're presenting to you this Sunday afternoon. It's getting a bit cool, so you can't complain so much of heat, isn't it? Okay, so Anna is here to tell us what happened during the Mothering Sunday at St. Jude's Catholic Church in Mafuluku. But when she comes back, we're going to talk about why women have so many Mothering Sundays. We're going to discuss that, all right? And I hope women will not be up in arms. I'm going to tell the truth, I don't lie. All right, so Anna, take it up from here.
All right, so talking about Mother's Day, the Catholic Church had her Mothering Sunday last week, and the Catholic Women Organization of St. Jude's Catholic Church, Mafuluku, celebrated her Mother's Day in grand style with the theme, Motherhood, a call to perform her sacred and supreme vocation. So let's see how it played out. Called a mother is not a title. It is a responsibility that demands selflessness, sacrifice, and utmost sanctity. The Catholic Women Organization, CWO, of St. Jude's Catholic Church, Mafuluku, Oshodi, had her Mother's Day celebration investiture award ceremony with the theme, Motherhood, a call to perform our sacred and supreme vocation. The grand event started with Thanksgiving Mass, which was officiated by Reverend Father Patrick Okoye, OP.
Sweet mother, I no go forget you for the suffer way you suffer for me. Sweet.
Highlight of the Mass was Thanksgiving procession, which saw beautiful, gorgeous women elegantly dressed in their national attire, dancing in gratitude to God for another Mother's Day. There was a grand reception which had in attendance dignitaries, special guests of honor, awardees, and members of the CWO.
Almighty God, we thank you for today you have blessed, for today you have made possible for us to celebrate our mothers.
It is a life task that requires hard work, presence, attention, and the grace of God, and through the intercession of our Mother Mary, to build replicas of the Holy Family in a challenging time like ours.
Chairman of the day, Barrister Charles Ochonago, congratulated mothers for their selfless service to their families.
If not really, for carrying us in their womb for 9 months. Subsequently, when we are put to bed, all the urine we put, all the mess, there are people taking care of them.
The Idoma cultural troops from Benue State thrilled the audience. Some of the awardees expressed their appreciation for the recognition.
I thank God. 500,000 are your mates. If you will not clap, you will be rich. Who they clap 500,000? 500,000.
I want to appreciate the leadership and the time members of the Catholic Women Organization for this wonderful award.
So I am very happy.
The chairperson, Planning Committee, spoke on the planning process.
It's not easy. The journey started 4 months ago. It has taken us a lot to put this event together. We have over 500 women, and you can see everyone
love, and we have to exhibit it. And for our women, I want to be committed to what we do.
I'm highly elated that after months of preparation, that God has been very kind to give us not just all the support, but also a good weather.
Today we are celebrating mothers in the Catholic Church. We are celebrating mothers because we understand the role they play in the family.
Dignitaries, special guests, and members were treated to sumptuous meals and drinks. Okay, that was the Mother's Day event, and we sure had fun.
It's interesting.
And then congratulations to the Ezinnes and all the noble daughters and sons that were awarded that last Sunday.
Where women are, there's always dance and, you know, enough to eat and drink. And that's quite good. But how much do you love your mother? For those of us who have lost theirs, but we still love our mothers, wherever they are. How much do you love your mother? Now, this year, Mothering Sunday for women, you might be shocked why there are so many Mothering Sundays. Well, there's a general Mothering Sunday, okay? Then there is one peculiar to the Anglicans because it normally happened during the Lent. And so the Catholics decided that they moved theirs after Easter. Then, of course, the Americans also have Mothering Sunday when they actually celebrate those that have achieved in their communities, and then think of how to help the girl child and all that. So, but all in all, the essence of Mothering Sunday is to recognize the essence of women, because, you know, a society that does not recognize women seldom grows. All right, so I'm going to discuss with mothers here today with Mrs. Olanike Olabode, and then, of course, Mrs. Ene Hassan, Ms. Bedwe. So, Mrs. Olanike Olabode, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
All right, we're probably just going to discuss for about 3 minutes before we'll go to network news. But in the meantime, I'd like to ask Mrs. Olabode first. What is the essence of Mothering Sunday? That's for Christians, obviously. Those who are not Christians, the Muslims also would have when they celebrate women, right? So why do we celebrate women on Mothering Sunday?
Well, what we said, you know, women, you know, should be celebrated every day.
Exactly.
Every day. The Mothering Sunday is just, we are just attaching, you know, particular days to the celebration. For me, mothers do a lot. So it's an everyday celebration, you know. But the Mothering Day is just to put specific days to it, specific dates, you know, where they come together and, you know, they are celebrated, they marry together, you know, celebrate one another, and that's just, you know, and also for the world to celebrate them. But really, mothers should be celebrated.
And then we, like she said, our core jobs we do a lot, so we need to be celebrated. A woman is the thinker, the doer. The men, yes, fine. The men, but we do a whole lot in our homes. That's some of the time, most of the times, if you notice, when a mother is not at home, even the men, they feel it. Just a one-day absence. Oh my God, some men are already sick.
Well, I know that my parents were married for more than 61 years, 62, 63 years. And then within those years, you know, my mother would remind us of a Mothering Sunday and say, it is on Sunday, you know.
So what do you do for her?
No, well, basically we prayed for her, booked masses for her, and then she would just demand that you send her something, but not extraordinary. You know, just to remember that she was your mother, you know, that kind of thing. So I still go back to Mr. Labode now. Well, I think I have a few seconds before the network news highlights. I don't know whether I would. I think I would come back to you when we come back from the network service. But then for our viewers at home, we're discussing motherhood, the essence of motherhood. Yeah. That's why we recognize women on Mothering Sunday, to recognize what they're doing in the family, what they're doing within the society, and then the nation. Now, of course, there's a lot of argument as to why they're not in the higher political echelon and all that, but they are now. Yeah. So when we come back,
gaining ground, we're gaining momentum.
Absolutely. So when we come back from the network news highlights, we will continue this discussion for a few more minutes, and then these women here will tell me why they are women, and then the essence of womanhood. I do know that as someone who was very close to the mother, that on a day like this, it's very, very exciting, because you remember what your mother went through in bringing you up. And I just mentioned something that if a woman is absent in the family for 24 hours, then the men will catch cold. I don't know how much of cold we will catch, but I do know that, yes, when there's no woman in the house, a vacuum is felt. Yeah. You know, a vacuum is felt. So, but then we will go to the network service for news highlights. When we come back, I'll deal with these women. Don't go away.
Welcome to the news on NTA International. Here are some of the top stories on the hour. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The U.S. House of Representatives has approved $61 billion military aid for Ukraine to help combat Russia's invasion. The measure had vocal opponents in Congress, and it took a fragile bipartisan deal to get the package through. Republicans said more than one-third would be dedicated to replenishing weapons and ammunition. The aid will keep the war from expanding and save thousands of lives. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described the U.S. support as vital. However, reports say it is unclear when the aid will arrive. The package will now go to the Senate, which is expected to pass it within the next few days before President Joe Biden signs it into law. And news just reaching us says President Bola Tinubu is expected to open the African Counterterrorism Summit in Abuja on Monday, April 22nd. Nigeria, with the support of the United Nations Office of Counterterrorism, is organizing a high-level African Counterterrorism Summit under the theme Strengthening Regional Cooperation and Institution Building to Address the Evolving Threat of Terrorism. Statements by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Nglale, indicates that the objective of the summit is to enhance multilateral counterterrorism cooperation and reshape the international community's collective response to terrorism in Africa, while emphasizing the importance of African-led and African-owned solutions. Authorities in Sierra Leone have burnt $200,000 worth of narcotics and chemicals used in manufacturing the synthetic drug Kush. This is coming 2 weeks after drug abuse in the West African country was declared a national emergency. Director of Police Crime Services, Joseph Lahai, said this is aimed at cutting off the supply chain to save youths from the menace of Kush. The Police Crime Services observed the drugs burnt include Kush, cocaine, and others that have been seized over the past 1 to 2 months since the intensified fight against Kush. And those are the stories trending at this time. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.
Sunday show on NTA Channel 10. Sunday show on NTA Channel 10.
Now, welcome back to the studios of Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 10, Lagos, Station for Excellence. And then before we went on the network service for the news highlights, I was discussing with Mrs. Olanike Olabode and Mrs. Ene Hassan on the role that women play, that we need to recognize them almost 4 times in the year. and then the men are up in arms that we don't even recognize them. But recently, I guess there's a day now.
Father's Day is coming.
Yeah, there's a day set aside for fathers. But I think that we should learn from women, really, and how to make ourselves much more relevant, not just paying school fees and providing feeding money.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we were not trying before?
No, you can't compare then with now. You know, now we have, you know, fathers who try to support their wives, you know, when they see that the burden is too much, you know. We have fathers who do school runs, you know, they drop
I mean, I did school runs those days when my children were younger.
Nice.
I did, not the adults, I mean. I did school runs. What are you saying? I did school runs.
You stay at home with the kids, you know, they give their wives, you know, like a day off. You know, it's your day off, let me take over. You know, we have, you know,
so they are coming up.
They are coming up. Yes.
Oh, when are coming
We
up?
appreciate them.
So we were not doing much before.
You know, before the whole I'm the man of the house kind of thing.
You know, I paid the bills.
Yeah, so
you do your part, kind of thing.
It's all good.
Really?
Yeah. So back to us.
Yes.
We women should be celebrated every day because we do a whole lot. We do a whole lot.
Okay, what are your expectations for the Modern Sunday? I mean, like, what do you expect from the man and from your children on a Modern Sunday? I'll come to you and then.
Okay, well, I would expect that, you know, it's my day off. I don't get to do anything on that day.
Really?
Yes, they do everything for me. You know, food, I relax, and then I would expect, you know, maybe gifts from my husband especially. Because, you know, when you have a woman who is up to the task, it makes the job easy for you as the husband. You don't have to, you are sure that your wife can handle it. You know, when it comes to school, making decisions
And
for
then
the
managing
family,
the home.
managing the home, you know, things like that. So I'd expect that, you know, I get gifts, you know, so every time I see the gift, I remember that, oh, that was my 2024 mothering Sunday gift. You know.
So, Mrs. Hassan?
It all boils down to appreciating us for who we are and thanking us and saying we love you, even though some of them don't get to say that every day. But that Mothering Sunday should be a day for
pampering
talks, pampering us, taking us to spa, giving us facials, massages, telling us, well done, thank you so much for taking care of us.
All right,
Yeah.
we're going to leave it there. I've been talking with women, and then they've won. It's okay. There's no problem. That is 0-1 or 1-0. Okay, so I've been talking with Mrs. Olanike Olabode, and then with Danka, and then Mrs. Ene Hassan, who is my colleague here as well. So thank you very much, you both. And then don't go away. When we come back, I'll introduce my next guest, and then we'll talk about Nollywood on the Cross. Don't go away.
Okay.
Well, I've just been informed that the Mandela's Traders Association, the international market, that they held an election for to fill up the posts for who will manage them in the next couple of years, I guess 2 years. So let's find out what actually happened on that elective day and then how they did it and who emerged winners. So don't go away now. Enjoy it.
United Traders Association International Trade Fair branch recently conducted election to elect executives that will pilot the affairs of the association for the next 4 years. The election, which started with the accreditation of members, and was witnessed by the association BOT members, saw the emergence of Evangelist Emmanuel Ezenue as the new president-elect. The chief electoral officer speaks on the conduct of the election, while the former president speaks about the competence of the new president.
The election you are seeing here was quite publicized, that everybody in the market knows that the election is going to be held. And everybody are encouraged to come and pick forms.
In our election, we know that nothing is at stake. You're only being elected to be a servant. So we know that at the back of our mind. So that's why today you can see that the election is free and fair. The election is almost, even the president has been my vice for 2 tenures now, 8 years. So he's experienced enough. He has been taught, he has been modeled. So I know that he will do well to uplift Mandalas to the higher level.
The new president promises to carry everyone along, as he says he would run an open door policy.
The people have been educated on what it means and what it takes to conduct ourselves in orderly manner. That it does not pay to fight, it does not pay to, to struggle to have things. Whatever you struggle to have, you will struggle to keep. So we have learned, they've been educated, and thank God that they imbibed, they accepted the teaching, and they displayed it in the election of today. I'm glad that it happened, most especially the fact that it happened without stress, without in or out fighting. Everybody in the house is happy about the process, and it was a unanimous program. So I'm happy above all for how it went.
Well, we wish Evangelist Emmanuel Ezenue all the best of luck in the next 4 years as he manages the affairs of the International Traders United Association, Mandalas, United Association, and then we wish them all the best of luck. So let's move straight to our next issue, and that Nollywood on the cross. And I have my guest here, Dr. Victor Ohai, who is the national president of the Directors Guild of Nigeria. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. The question is, who nailed us?
Well, let's look at the whole situation and find out who nailed us. But then it's also interesting for me to remind us that at this point in time, Nollywood provides about 2.3% to our national GDP, and that's close to about 660 million US dollars. Wow. And that is expected to rise probably in the next 2 years. It will get up to $1.5 billion from Nollywood. It's also interesting to tell us that, of course, Nollywood has had humble beginnings, from television, then to motion picture, and then now Nollywood has grown in leaps and bounds. It's also interesting to note that Nollywood actually employs a whole lot of young people that would have otherwise been unemployed. They would have been unemployed. Nollywood provides employment for them. Nollywood also highlights the image of Nigeria inside and outside Nigeria. And then I don't know of any part of the world where Nigerian movies are not watched. It's also interesting to note that in terms of money, Hollywood, of course, is #1, then Bollywood, and then Nollywood. But in terms of productivity, after Bollywood is Nollywood. It's also interesting to mention to us that in the whole of Africa, Nollywood leads, and then the other African countries are coming to Nollywood, collaborate with us in order to gain acceptance, and then in order to also learn 1 or 2 things from here. And that's why Dr. Ohai is so important that we invited you for this discussion. Could you tell us where Nollywood is as at now?
Interesting question. Thank you for having me. It's a nascent industry, still young, compared to the other industries. You cannot compare with the accounting profession, for instance, or medical professional engineering and all that. And just the other day, a couple of months ago, the vice president was saying, when he hosted the creatives, he said, in fact, apologetically, he said, you have gotten to where you are without any support from government. You've been able to do everything that you've done without our support. I mean, I'm talking about government now and all of that. And you have to give it to the industry. The reason is we have a very youthful population and one of the largest youth populations globally by the size of our population. And you want to imagine where these young people would otherwise be but for this industry. And the interesting thing about this industry, which a lot of people don't know, is that along the value chain, you have almost 250 unique professions along the entire value chain, which means if a production comes into the community, a whole lot of people are going to get employed in relation to that production. So it will provide a lot of employment. I'm starting from all of that because, yes, entertainment is intrinsic to what we're doing. We all know that, you know, we provide entertainment. We have been able to, if you like, give this country the kind of image that the sports is only occasional, you know, when there's the Olympics, the World Cup, Nations Cup. After that, we're down. But Nollywood is constantly there, you know, and it's done quite a lot for tourism for us, even though the data are not there to prove it. But judging from what is done to other countries, we know what is done. But I can tell you this for free. I've seen situations outside this country where, in African countries, and even sometimes in the diaspora, where a Nollywood show is going on, and then suddenly they say, stop. The tailor is there, the fashion designer. That's the design I'm talking about. It's exactly like that. You know? Our architecture is sold through our movies, our fashion, our food. You know about food tourism as well. You see, when people talk about whether fufu now or jollof rice and the rest, they didn't read it from books. It is what they see, the visual things they see and hear, you know, that through these things that these things are sold. So, beyond just talking about movies for the sake of it, Nollywood has done quite a lot for the image of this country. Before now, honestly and truly, there are people who thought that we were so backwards. You know, we lived only in the jungles and all that. And they're shocked to see these images and say, really? And so when people say, hey, Africa, they say, come and see. It's not what they save our children. Well, I don't know if I mentioned a true charity or whatever. They just go and look for minority children and say, this is Africa. They can see that we live well. We have a great culture. When you look at movies like, what you call it now, Wedding Party and the rest of it, you can see rich culture, rich tradition. You can see opulence. You can see that we really live and live good. You know, so, and again, on the global platform, streaming platforms like Amazon, Netflix, and whether we like it or not, YouTube, for me, I think that's the biggest streaming platform. You know, at least for our movies. Because the number of movies you have is more than all the others combined together. So, in the diaspora, people have been able to see, you know, what we're like and all that. And again, it's done something also for our people. Just like people, Nigerians here have learned to speak Korean just by watching K-movies. There are people who actually watch our movies.
The epics.
Yes, you know, to use to enlighten their children abroad, to help them get in touch with home, to learn the language or get in touch with the language from listening, from watching. So it's, I mean, it's done so much you cannot quantify it.
So you've just highlighted most of the advantages, But recently...
Are you looking for disadvantages? Is that what this program is about?
No.
Okay, because you have said no, let's focus on the positives.
Yeah, we're focusing on the positives.
I'm going to remind you as we move along.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But recently, Nollywood has been on the cross. With
there you go.
some, yeah. So we're going to talk about it. With the death of some production crew and the actors, and Nollywood has been on the cross. A lot of people, social media has been buzzing and talking. There are some lapses and all that. Everybody wants to be a director, everybody wants to be a producer and all that. So what do you have to say about it?
So now that you're out with it, let's look at what the cross represents. Today is Sunday. An innocent man was nailed on the cross about over 2,000 years ago. And the reason was because he was, sorry, permit me, the public is watching, but I want them to know that I was careless with my phone and brought it on set. Okay, they can just stop him. This is interactive TV.
Let's, okay, go on. Go on.
So, you know, Jesus was nailed on the cross. He was innocent. We're in the public view, so this is amplified and magnified.
Okay.
People die every day. The other day I was in the car, you know, I was traveling around Lafayette. The people I was in the car with, we're all traveling together as a team. So I said to them, put on your seatbelt. But I know police. I'm not telling you to put it on because of the police. I'm saying put on the seatbelt because it's the right thing to do. You are adults. Okay? It will save your life. Put on your seatbelt. Now, people die on the road every day. Doctors, lawyers, accountants. Some for not wearing their seatbelts. There are a lot of boat mishaps in Lagos here. Because no filmmaker died is not a big news. The fact that one filmmaker has died, agreed, we attract eyeballs. You understand what I'm saying? So all eyes are on us. So it's easy to shout, crucify him, we'll become the scapegoat. But, and I'm not excusing anything. That's one death too many. It was needless, it was senseless. I say so because, especially because of the video we saw.
Before?
Yes, that was shot a day before it happened. After watching that video, I said to myself, I mean, for whatever reason, the souls of the departed rest in peace.
Amen.
But they ought to have known better. The duty of care and responsibility is on both sides. If you are entering a vehicle, the driver owes you the duty of making sure there is a seatbelt. Or if you're going on a bike, that is a helmet. And you, and I put it to you, that if you were to go on a bike, they give you a helmet, you just, if you were to put it, even because of police, because people, a lot of people don't even care about their health, you will hang it in one corner with a swag. You wear it with a swag. You will not tie it. You will not clip it. Who are you doing that for? You're doing it because of police? The person dies, they die alone. You understand? So I think that what this has brought forth is the fact that we ought to begin to take responsibility for every action and for ourselves. Okay? Make it a habit. And the number one safety people in this country today, as in many parts of the world, are the oil industry. You can't enter their premises. Even if it is 10 meters, your belt must be on, whether you're driving in or driving out. And you see a lot of people who, they only put it on when they get to that gate because they say you must put on your seatbelt. On certain locations, you're supposed to put on your hard hat and those shoes.
Safety boots.
Safety boots. I drive in my estate, for instance, I see people who just want to bike for the sake of it. In the evenings, they're not putting on reflective jackets. Their bikes don't even have reflectors. There are so many big people in this country today, I don't want to name names, very rich, with trucks, articulated vehicles and all that. These vehicles don't have, their lights or reflectors are not showing behind. So many needless deaths. What I think we should be talking about now, if we must talk about that side, because if we continue with that, I promise you, we will not talk about Nollywood, because I will point it to where it should be, which is that we ought to now begin to take responsibility and begin to enforce. Because I would hold the police, the road safety people responsible. They are going after private vehicle owners, the commercial vehicle owners, they just ignore them. And they're the ones who carry people and kill people all the time.
Okay, let me now come in because we don't really have much time. We make at least about 2,500 movies every year. That makes us second most prolific after Bollywood. Now, marketing is a problem. Quickly, within a minute, can we talk about remuneration, which means if movies are well marketed and they're well received, people will earn a lot. So can we look at that?
When you go to the market, you negotiate. I think what we need to do is, and that's why we have what is called, we have a federation now, comprising the heads of all the guilds. I'm the chair of that federation. In the past, they say they don't speak with one voice. Who do we talk to and all that. So we're coming together now so that we can, we can speak with one voice. When we're talking to the Netflixes of this world, because that's where we start from. Not that poor hapless producer who is even barely, he makes his movie, he's barely able to make ends meet. But for those big productions around, that's a starting point where we can begin to say, okay, look, with this, can we begin to talk about residuals? Because after they make their money, they still go on.
Go on, exactly.
So these are the kind of things, our conversations that we're beginning to have now, so that people can begin to earn long after. Not that you remain a star on the screen and you are a pauper on the streets.
All right. Okay, that's quite interesting. Let's also look at training. You see, you definitely have to have an entry point, an exit point, and then opportunity for growth within your profession. Is it obtainable in Nollywood?
Yes, the various guilds have training programs for their members. But also, you are aware that with the unbundling of the MassCom department, both by the NDT and the NUC, now film is standalone.
Yes.
So you can, that's an area of specialization. And there are pocketfuls of training initiatives and training schools. The Lagos State government is doing something. There are a few other training initiatives as well. So it's something that is constant, apart from the personal effort that people make. So it's ongoing. I mean, so we recognize the need, because if you don't train, you rust and you are out. Younger people are coming in, they're more competitive, and if you do not sharpen your skills, you're blunted and you're no longer useful.
Well, I guess we just have like about 2 minutes ago. Let's look at your projection about what Nollywood would look like in the next 5 years.
Quite frankly, we started from nowhere and nothing. Today we're on the global stage, on the streaming platforms, and we're competing with them, and we're holding our own. And you can see all the big streamers, and everyone is taking an interest here. Big studios are beginning to be set up. International investors are coming in, big money players are coming. When they hear the kind of figures that are coming out, in 5 years, I think people will be leaving oil industry, banking, and all that to come into this industry. All the lawyers will leave whatever they're doing and then will come into this industry. Just like football, you see the big politicians are training their children football academies now. All of them, they are smelling the money. They are also smelling the money here. I promise you, in 5 years, this will be Ebano, as you say in your place.
All right, great. In 30 seconds.
Accurate timekeeper, co-debater.
In 30 seconds, I would like you to advise practitioners and then the different guilds, and those that are not in guilds to join the guilds. And then what they should do.
I think that it's important to work with the guilds, because right now the voices that are speaking for the dead are the guilds. The family, we haven't heard their voices. You need to belong for whatever it's worth. And when opportunities come, they will come through the guilds. You know, so, and the fact that we speak with one voice as a federation makes it easier. Now there's someone to talk to. If you don't belong, you are out there, out in the cold.
All right. Well, I've been talking with Dr. Victor Hai. Oh, by the way, Dr. Hai is also a politician on the other side, who is the...
And he's also, he has a chieftaincy in
Oh,
Kano State.
aha!
Yeah, I forgot.
Let me remember the title now.
Then, no, then... Magajing Ajingi.
No, no. Menasara Ajingi. Yes, so Agashika. So we've been talking with him, and he's also the chairman of Nollywood Federations, Nollywood Guilds. Now Nollywood is speaking with one voice. And he's also been able to tell us about the recent deaths. Yes, people die in different professions, but then where mistakes are made, you correct your mistakes, and then you learn, and then you move on. He's also projected that Nollywood in the next 5 years will just be where to be, because a lot of things are happening. A lot of growth is taking place, you know, within the various guilds and then amongst the different professionals. So we thank you very much, sir, for being on the program today. We do hope you come again when we call you.
It depends. If you're nice to me.
No, well, we'll be nice to you. Well, it's been that's the package we have for you today. We do hope you join us again next Sunday for another edition of the Sunday Show. If you've enjoyed us, you can always make your inputs, and then the authorities will know what to do. We thank our producers so much for being able to get our guests today, and then of course from Ene.
Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely week ahead. Don't forget, join us next Sunday for another bumper package.
Yeah, great. And for those behind the scene, we thank you so much for being on the program. I'm Chris Aquarando, so stay safe so we can see you again on Sunday. Bye for now.
Yeah.
ìlérí tó ṣe láti tún nàìjíríà ṣe là ń rán ẹ létí a lè wí lè ṣe a lè ṣe lè wí ni ó